Gordon Ramsay's face twisted after one chew, and every fork in the crowded LA bistro froze. He spat Meghan Markle's shimmering raspberry jam into a linen napkin and blasted, "This isn't food, this is a crime against fruit." Phones flashed. Hashtags detonated before the jar even cooled. Yet that volcanic verdict was only the spark. The real inferno was still winding its way through Meghan's freshly painted wellness empire.
Get back to assess her new brand as ever. She's previously hinted she might never restock her jam because the first batch sold out within 45 minutes. Now, the first batch was, 60 jars?
6 months earlier, the picture looked perfect. Meghan was choreographing her post-palace renaissance. No tiaras, no curtsies, just sun-kissed calm and Parisian chic. She christened the venture as ever, draping every promo in soft-focus beige, dusty rose and promises of mindful luxury. The crown jewel, raspberry jam, hand-foraged berries bubbled in French copper pots, poured into cream-lidded jars numbered like haute couture perfumes. Investors swooned, influencers angled for PR boxes, and Meghan believed she'd finally bottled reinvention. But a pretty label can't outshine a single unforgiving palate, and Gordon Ramsay's taste buds were forged in kitchens hotter than any press release. Recipe trials kicked off inside a rented Santa Barbara villa, marble counters gleaming for behind-the-scenes reels. Friends dipped silver spoons while an assistant logged notes. Toned-down tart, amp floral, tastes like memory of summer. Batch 14 sweetened with a hint of Rose 1 internal applause. PR locked a hush-hush soft launch at Poppy and Rye, and influencers swarmed Fairfax Eatery. The plan? Have trendsetters discover the jam on warm scones, leak a few aesthetic photos, then ignite worldwide retail a week later. Fate, however, sat Gordon Ramsay 3 tables away, sharpening destiny's blade. 2 chews, 1 grimace, a decisive spit-then fireworks. Ramsay boomed. Slimy texture, cough syrup aftertaste, branding's pretentious nonsense. Murmurs turned to shrieks, cameras turned to content. 90 seconds later, hashtag Jamgate ricocheted across TikTok. By sundown, late-night hosts teased, "Stop, jam time," and Twitter stacked memes. Ramsay wearing a crown condemning jam treason, jars stamped biohazard reaction stitches of teenagers faking gag reflexes. But the digital blitz was only phase 1, and what came next hit even harder. It gets worse. E-commerce dashboards flipped from pre-order frenzy to refund avalanche. Boutique grocers yanked the jars, citing quality concerns. As ever, .com's buy now morphed overnight into a sheepish coming soon. Meghan's PR squad drafted excuses, shipping delays, refrigeration mishaps, maybe even culinary sabotage. Trouble was, the industry's sharpest tongues were already whetting their blades. Alice Waters sighed. "You can't Photoshop flavor," Thomas Keller quipped. He'd rather spread plain mustard on a croissant. Food World newsletters framed the fiasco as craft versus influencer gloss. Decades of discipline pitted against a curated shortcut. For every supportive tweet, 5 sarcastic ones surfaced comparing the jam's consistency to melted lipstick or hotel shampoo. Meghan's pastel promise morphed into the internet's favorite joke in under 24 hours. Inside a Beverly Hills war room, tension simmered hotter than any jam kettle. Consultants refreshed sentiment dashboards like stock tickers. One strategist proposed slashing the $28 price tag to reposition as accessible. Another pitched donating profits to charity to soften the sting. Yet every idea crashed into the same brick wall, the taste itself. A product can survive bad publicity, but it can't survive a viral spit take. It wasn't over yet. Leaked staff emails piled kindling on the blaze. A former chef confessed last-minute sugar swaps meant to create camera shine, killing balance. A marketer revealed influencer contracts with scripted sound bites. Farm-to-table luxury, heritage sweetness, screenshots spread like wildfire, feeding the suspicion that, as ever, was more slideshow than soul. Retail partners felt the chill. A luxury New York grocer iced a window display, a Parisian department store hit pause on contract signatures, and a cookware collab destined for holiday shelves went dark. Meanwhile, Ramsay boarding a flight to London told paparazzi he'd rather lick a dumpster lid than try that jam again. The clip clocked 2 million views before his plane touched down. Meghan's silence only made louder the question echoing across headlines. Was as ever genuine craft or velvet-wrapped vanity? And the story still wasn't finished. offline consequences started stacking. A leaked kitchen video showed servers scraping uneaten jam into a trash bin, snickering in the background. 12 seconds, 5 million views. Investors read daily recaps with grim expressions. One venture capitalist privately withdrew from a seed round aimed at expanding as ever into condiments. Commentators coined a new metric, the Ramsay risk factor, for any celebrity launching food. Yet Meghan wasn't ready to retreat completely. Friends whispered she'd enrolled in crash course culinary training, determined to understand acids, pectins, and flavor molds. A Michelin-trained consultant drafted a brutal syllabus. Whether the public would grant a second chance was anybody's guess, but one thing was clear: the next bite would require bulletproof perfection. But the fallout spread even deeper. Search trends for Meghan jam disaster now dwarfed searches for her past philanthropic work. Fans' patience eroded. Even neutral audiences started questioning. If the jam was this flawed, what about the forthcoming honey line or the rumored spiced chutney? Confidence, essential currency for lifestyle, brands drained away like syrup from a cracked jar. As Ever's finance team tallied losses, designer glass, bespoke labels, influencer retainers, kitchen rentalsa bill inching towards 7 figures. Legal flagged murmurs of false advertising suits after customers posted side-by-sides of website photos versus jar reality. A whispered proposal surfaced: reformulate quietly and relaunch under an anonymous sub-label, letting the Duchess's name vanish from the lid. But how do you hide Gordon Ramsay's spit heard round the world? Then came the gut punch twist. A second tasting video leaked this time, Ramsay's eldest daughter blind sampling 3 jams on a family live stream. Without knowing which jar was which, she spat out number 2 and said, "That's perfume and jelly." Her father just laughed, "DNA doesn't lie." The clip ignited another meme wave, reinforcing the brand's flavor fail narrative. Marketing pundits dissected the timeline in think pieces. The 5 fatal errors of as ever launching with aesthetics over beta testing, confusing branding for substance, ignoring neutral feedback, underestimating TikTok's amplification, and clashing with the world's most quotable chef. In classrooms from NYU to UCLA, media studies professors added #Jamgate slides to lectures.
The reality is, this has been an absolute joke of a brand, hasn't it?
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. I was told by somebody they were only putting out 10 jars. So, of course, it would all go because I think she sold them to her friends.
And still the saga marched on. August brought a heavily choreographed Glossy Mag interview. Meghan admitted the launch was rushed, vowed transparent sourcing, and teased a reimagined spread dropping next spring, developed alongside culinary mentors. Photos showed her stirring a copper pot with earnest focus. Skeptics snickered, supporters applauded, and fence-sitters waited. September, a charity cookbook mention. October, trademark filings surfaced for as ever spice rubs. November, paparazzi spotted Meghan hauling tote bags of produce from a Santa Barbara farmer's market. Comment threads, split rehabilitation arc, or curated optics. The brand's Instagram grid reawakened with muted tones and minimal captions. Refining, reflecting, returning. Yet every new post still drew berries and bin emojis from doubters. Through it all, Gordon Ramsay barely commented. When a radio host asked if he'd sample the revamped jam, he smirked, "Only if it's edible this time." Another viral spike. The Duchess's culinary team responded with a zero-sugar, extra-pectin test batch for independent tasters but refused to name the tasters, fueling conspiracy theories. The internet loves a redemption arc, but only if the sequel outperforms the flop. So, 12 months after one volcanic mouthful, where does the saga stand? Meghan Markle's jam remains off shelves. Her revised recipe simmers in secrecy. Retailers issue cautious murmurs about second-chance tastings. Investors lurk in back channels, and fans keep spoons poised for the relaunch. Yet the ripple effect endures. Every celebrity now hustling a sauce, cookie, or collagen tea confronts one scorching question: what if Ramsay walks in? Because #Jamgate's sticky legacy isn't just about berries gone wrong, it's a masterclass in how authenticity can vaporize if flavor falters. A single unfiltered moment toppled months of pastel-perfect planning, reminding brands that in a world coated with glossy promises, taste is truth. And truth, once spit across white linen in 4K, lingers longer than any handcrafted label. When the next batch finally surfaces, whether spooned by Michelin critics or streamed by TikTok skeptics, Meghan's redemption will hinge not on marketing slogans or royal intrigue, but on the quiet verdict of a taste bud. If the flavor sings, the Duchess might just reclaim her narrative. If it falters again, well, no pastel filter and no polished statement will muffle a second Ramsay roar. Because in the end, glossy jars crack, hashtags fade, PR spins run dry, and only one question matters. Does it taste good? If as ever's answer is still no, the internet already knows exactly how to respond. And if the answer's finally yes, perhaps this sticky saga will transform from cautionary meme to sweet comeback legend. That's the tale behind the jam heard round the world proof that one fearless bite can rip a velvet veil and show the substance, or lack of it, underneath. Authentic flavor beats polished plating every single time. And that's a wrap! If today's scoop had you raising an eyebrow or two, tap that like button to let us know. Got a hot take or inside tea? Drop it in the comments so the whole crew can weigh in. Not part of the fam yet? Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell because the next twist is always one upload away.